Good morning and welcome to my blog, Wisdom for Today. And today I want to talk to you about the gift of kindness. Have you ever had someone say something kind to you when you're going through a rough time and how it ministered to your soul? Last week in church I talked about that the temple was guarded by two of God's attributes: mercy, which was shown to the person as they entered the temple through the gift of forgiveness, and the mercy seat at the end of the temple when you went in the Holy of Holies, which encased the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments were given to us encased by mercy. In other words, we needed God's mercy to lift us up to obey those commandments. They were not given to us to punish us, but to lift us up to a place of mercy. So some of the scriptures that came to my mind this morning as I was thinking of that passage was the ability to look on other people, not just ourselves. And that was found in 1 Thessalonians 5:15. And I love this passage because Paul is talking to a group of people that have been arguing with each other. And he says this: make sure that nobody pays back wrong for wrong, but always be kind to each other and to everyone else. Make sure that no one pays back wrong for wrong, but always be kind. When he uses that word be, as in the action word that we would think, he uses a word that means put to flight or pursue. So the King James is more accurate. Make sure no one pays back wrong for wrong, but always pursue kindness with one another. That's not just saying I'll be kind, but it's the intention of making a plan and being kind when maybe something else is in your heart because you're thinking that that person wronged you. We live in a culture that seems to say all the time, me first, and the important thing is I get mine. And we don't look out for other people. But Christianity demands of us that we consider other people's feelings. In the book of Philippians, when Paul was talking to a church, he said, and it's in Philippians chapter 2, which many of you may know, is the first psalm of the church. People think this was the first song that was sung of the church. So it talks about considering Jesus, who was in the image of God, did not consider equality of God something to be grasped, but he humbled himself, taking on human form, even to the death of a cross. And then it says this scripture, and I love this scripture: do nothing from selfishness or empty conceit, but with humility of mind, let each of you regard one another as more important than themselves. Do not merely look out for your own personal interests, but also for the interests of others. So first it talks about our motivation. When we want to do something, especially for the Lord, don't let it be about bringing attention to yourself. Let it be about bringing attention to God. And put yourself in the same place as Jesus did. Jesus did not consider equality with God something to be grasped, but he humbled himself and took on human form and humbled himself to the death, even the death of a cross. So Jesus said, what does God want me to do? And what can present God's love the best? And it was the cross. Well, when we do ministry or when we have an idea for something, we have to ask, what is the most wise way to do this thing? And the most foolish way to do anything is to do it for our own conceit. Because then the task itself isn't important, but our selfish ambition is. So Paul said, put aside that selfish ambition. Don't do it out of selfish ambition and conceit, but humble yourselves and not only look on your own selves. So Paul doesn't expect us to be so altruistic that we don't take care of our own bills and take care of our own house and make sure the people we love are provided for. But he says, not only look just for that, but look at other people too. Because you have to live with other people here on this earth. When people just look for their own ambitions, horrible, horrible things happen because they lose that sense of empathy, that sense of kindness that God calls us to. As you go through your day today and your week, I pray that you'll sense the kindness of God in your life, that he has your best interests at heart. But I also pray that you'll spread that kindness to others. Have a lovely day, and I hope to see those in Enfield in church this Sunday. Those of you who are not in Enfield, please find a Bible-believing church and attend it. God's blessings and have a good day.